I would like to call upon the panelist. First of all, let me call Sunny, please. I would like to call Shine and Mr. Gaurav and Bhavin.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Shaheen Karoji. I am the travel head at the corporate office of the Aditya Birla Group. Been in the industry for over 20 years, and it's a pleasure being here. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sunny Sodhi. I lead the business for FCM in India. Been with the business for almost 2 years. Been in the industry for, should I be saying it, almost 30 years. Yeah, so that's about me.
Hi, my name is Gaurav Nagwekar and I represent Reliance Industries. I had the entire corporate travel for Reliance Industries and also been in the industry for almost 20 years plus. Yeah.
Hi, myself Bhavin Modi. We're part of Make My Trip Group, represent Enterprise Travel Space. I'm Chief Commercial Officer of Questro Travel, part of Make My Trip Group. Pleasure connecting you.
So today we have two demand people on the dais and two supply people on the dais. Two supplies are sitting on the outskirts, and at the start, the middle are the demand people who are sitting there. Strategic move. So today's topic is on corporate travel, the journey for $20 billion reality. So having spent so many years in corporate travel, I think it's no more booking or saving type of a thing. It's balancing the ecosystem. So it's a strategic enable, I think so. To explore this, we have joined with various minds. I think so, based on the ecosystem of corporates, platforms, and travel management partners, distinctly, differently having each one's lens on how we can reach or how we are prepared for the $20 billion journey. So let's start with a 2 minutes or 4 minutes with each of you, especially the trade people. India's corporate travel market is projected at 20 billion. Okay, but are we building a strong ecosystem or just scaling inefficiency with better tech? So to start with, I think Bhavin, you can summarize in some 2 lines or a sentence.
Thanks, Sanjay. It's a very interesting topic. And if we are here to look at $20 billion market by 27 or 30, whatever we call about, we internally project it to be 38 billion by 2030. And what we look at is where the demand is shifting. The demand is generally shifting, which we see in category 3, category 4. And that's the area where, Sanjay, we see a huge enablement which a technology can enable over there. So they are very highly fragmented supply ecosystem over there. And the idea is how can we aggregate the entire supply system? There's enough demand on the other side. And that's the where which we see the next phase of demand is going to come with the government taking initiatives of expanding into category 2, 3 cities, the new infrastructure of airports.
Sunny,
we see it getting
just
fueled.
to hold you here. Sunny, do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I think Bhavin mentioned a very important point, which is the number. I think this number, 20 billion, is not 20 billion, it's actually a lot more.
A lot more.
I mean, of course, various reports are putting these numbers out to be at 35 billion, 40 billion. So there's definitely madness that we will see over the next 5 to 7 years. And I think the projection that's been put out in terms of year-on-year growth is very, very exciting. And we all know, by the way, that India is seeing a growth that no other country in the world is. And we will, by 2028, 2029, will be the 4th largest.
Just hold on. Gaurav, do you agree with this?
So, I agree with both of them.
I'm asking you whether you're ready to spend 20 billion.
I wish I would. Yeah, I completely agree with both Bhavin and Sunny in terms of, spend increasing. But I think it is equally important for us also to understand how the industry is evolving. I think, just before our panel started, I was listening to the AI part and, how easily today we are talking about AI. But I keep on saying this quite often that I haven't seen an AI product till date since we are hearing about AI.
So
Specifically for
Shine, what Gaurav is saying is inefficiency and unwilling to confront. What do you feel?
So I have two views to this. I partly agree with Gaurav on the AI part. Yes, we haven't seen anything that, the way it is being highlighted or discussed. For the other part, for the 20 billion, if you ask me, are we willing to spend? Yes, for India to grow, it's a very good thing for all of us. But we as a corporate also have to look at the economy of our business.
Correct.
And all of us, always say that we want the best, but we also keep in mind what the cost is involved. So are we going to run and say, okay, we have to achieve that? No.
No,
Probably
the canvas is such that each businesses are getting into various other verticals.
Correct.
Like semiconductor, data, and for you all into retail on a
Yes.
full-fledged. So the business definitely will increase.
grow, yes.
And there is a potential. So are we prepared? That's what Gaurav is saying. AI, he has not seen it.
No,
Okay, so all agree that the ecosystem is yet to be built.
absolutely.
Okay,
Yes.
so I'll go back to Gaurav. Indian corporates demand global standards, but negotiate locally. Is this tension holding back innovation in corporate travel?
I think, Dr. Pai, even you would be in the same boat as we
I
all
know.
are here.
That was a good one.
I think let's not shy away by saying this, that yes, we are always in this kind of tension. I think most of our travelers are expecting that we have global standards, we have best of technology, we have best of safety and security, but equally important is on the management side. I think the organizations, our CFOs, are expecting that everything comes at a cost.
So you mean to say cost control is compromised?
Yes, I would say yes and no. I think the organization is always looking at the cost, and I think that is one thing which needs to change. Innovation is definitely going to be there, but unless you don't spend, you won't get the best.
So Shine, it is the same with your
It is,
organization.
yeah. I mean,
So how far it hurts you, Sunny?
A lot.
A lot.
Look, I think, and most of the people in this room, including most of you, would tend to agree that I think this is an industry that's seen massive gross margin erosion over the last 10 to 15 years.
Okay.
I'm not putting a number, but I'll give you a range. But I have an exact number. I mean, we've seen almost a 30 to 45% sort of a gross margin. I mean, that's the earnings we have on the business getting eroded over the last 10 to 15 years.
So how do you deal with such type of organizations?
I mean, look, the fact is that, okay, I go back, and I'll have to take a few minutes to explain this, right? I go back 15 years. The ask when it came to most travel programs was best people, best hands on the deck to service the business, right? Fast forward now. Today, that's a given. You need brilliant people to manage business. Now you need brilliant tech. On tech, there's expectation of AI. And in parallel, you have a great desire to consume great content. And we all know content is king right now.
But Sunny, he was saying he had not seen a AI.
Yeah.
So how fast and how y'all are involved to embrace this AI?
Yeah. So for us, there is AI already out. I mean, we've already launched our virtual travel assistant. It's there, right? I mean, the program, at least for Reliance, is in a very different stage. They have their own platform that's being used. But for us, we've seen the advent of AI. And there's a journey that's been built out. But I'm with him. We've been talking AI for the last 4 or 5 years with literally no absolute clear outcome in front of us. And when I say we've launched, we are talking about launching about a few months back. So it took us time. But it took time. Why? Because I'll tell you the reason. The programs became so complex that there was a desire of having great tech, and there are 50 features that one would want. Then there's content, and then there's servicing. So, I mean, something or the other kept coming in front of us, and that's the reason things get delayed. And by the way, we have limited means and resources, especially from the dollar value that we put on the table in investment, I mean, to kind of put everything ahead. So we can't prioritize everything. So there are pressures.
So Sunny, I always felt supply people thought that they are deviating from their core business because digitalization or AI was never their business. So their business was something else. But the transformation or conversion which forced them to get into this area, just like most of the businesses never thought advertising is their P&L, they have to spend. But now it is everyone's business. So AI is everyone's business. Shine, I just wanted to come to you. From a people and policy standpoint, are corporate travel programs in India designed more for control or for travel experience?
From the corporate point of view, I think we still are on the control part. Yes, there's been a drastic difference if you go back 10 years and to what we are now. We do emphasize on the safety. We do look at the employee facilities and everything, but the control hasn't really gone. If the control is gone, then how do you control cost?
So you say that satisfaction rises, but compliance drops.
Drops, yes, exactly.
Okay.
So
it's a failure or redesign?
No, it's not I wouldn't say it's a failure, but for it to be an absolute success, we're a bit away from it.
Okay. Bhavin, I'll just come to you. As platforms gain power, are we moving towards travel-centric ecosystem or platform-centric control?
So control is an interesting word, and I'll take what Shaheen said. Who controls travel of an employee? It's a myth, Sanjay, that the platforms control.
Okay.
The reality is platforms enable compliances at a different scale. Now the control points are built in the various policies which are drafted at the corporate end. And the expectation from the platform is have 100% compliances. And the platform's role over there is to meet various controls set by the corporate in a more compliant way without compromising the employee experiences.
So you are saying conflict with governance?
Not really conflict, it's enabling a governance. The
Do you agree,
platforms are
Sunny, on this?
enablers, not the conflict.
Sunny,
Yeah.
do you agree with this?
Yeah, 100%. I agree with him. Absolutely.
Okay. So you say that when does convenience conflict with governance, there is a different path which all suppliers take. Is that so?
I mean, look, I'm not saying 100%, but yes, but that's been the case these days. I'm seeing these trends for the last few years, and it continues to be, I mean, to be honest, it's really not changing. We're not seeing anyone coming in front and saying we want to change the way we operate or change the way at least most corporations have been buying or looking at building travel programs.
So Sunny, I'll just ask you one question. Now, earlier it was travel agents, now it's TMCs. So expectations are, of course, tech-enabled, okay, consultative, and available 24/7, okay. Yet margins remains under pressure. Is the current TMC model in India sustainable?
It is sustainable. That's the reason me and Bhavin are sitting here, right? Having said that, there has to be an evolution. And the good news for us is we're seeing that evolution in pockets, right? I think we are looking at more mature travel programs. There are a few very, very tightly governed, managed travel programs where you are not looking at, I mean, typically what do we look at? I mean, we look at point of sale savings, we look at policy savings. But today, the fact is, there's a lot more that comes into play when a TMC is managing a travel program. It's end to end. And that's been a massive shift over the last 5 to 7 years where TMCs are now expected to manage everything. So that's playing out extremely well.
But don't you feel it's a very hard ball game when you have to put your neck for a third party?
It is. And sir, I think you mentioned a very important point. I think the reason that happens is because there are multiple content providers, multiple system providers. There's nothing called an integrated system. Till such time you continue to operate with one HRMS, one expense, one approval, and then 4 content providers not coming on a single platform. This is going to be the...
So if margins don't improve...
Sorry,
Yeah.
Dr. Pai, I would completely agree with what just Sunny mentioned. I think consolidation of systems are equally important.
Important, yeah, that's right.
So he's bang on, I think.
So basically, what you're saying is on your platform or on your dashboard, there are multiple APIs and XMLs which has been integrated, and everybody has to fire for the satisfaction of the customer. That's right.
So if it was 100% touchless, I'd be happy with multiple contents or multiple systems. The problem is that the journey ends maybe 30-40% of touchless, and then comes exceptions, then comes policy deviations, where you need people to manage it. And for us, when you talk about margins, the biggest cost that the TMCs carry, people cost.
So if, Bhavin, if margin don't improve, what erodes first?
So again, we say it's a unit cost of economics. What Sunny said is 30-40% journey, right? Now, what does it take us to take a 90% journey online? Have all the exceptions, all the policy. The moment you have a touchless experience going on, right? If margins don't improve, then the only playbook which you have is a unit cost of economics, and which we see at even a Make My Trip and broader in the ecosystem over here is we have to reach to a 95, maybe 99% touchless journey with all the exceptions. The best part is we have data with us. Best part is we have experience with us. Best part is we know which are the touch points which are breaking. So that's the place which we see. And one more area, Sanjay, which we see is right now it's happening is the bookings. We all are talking about bookings. We see a journey will evolve towards a connected trips. The moment you get into a connected trips, your unit cost of economics of every booking will come down dramatically. So that's where we see the ecosystem.
So this question is to everyone, in fact. So we have talked about AI, we have talked about data, we have talked about margins. Ultimately, it translates into transparency. Okay. So I think whoever wants to take it first, they can. Everyone wants data, but very few want transparency. Okay. Are Indian corporates truly ready for data-driven accountability in travel?
Look, I think the good news is that there is very high desire to consume data and quality data. So that's one good news, right? However, to the point that I just made some time back is I think we are very focused on point of sale data and point of sale savings that are being delivered for a travel program. What we are not looking at is the holistic picture. We are not looking at literally everything. And I think one important point that I heard in the previous panel was I think it's very important for us to put customer experience in the overall scheme of things. And when you look at customer experience, I'm talking about a policy that may say, look, lowest class of travel, 2,000 rupees hotel accommodation, but where does that 2,000 rupee fetch you the hotel location, the amount that the employee spends in terms of traveling and the overall experience? I think we need to start putting customer experience also when it comes to designing or looking at consuming data. I think the important factor is, and I think we've started in some shape and form now, is you got to just ask the customer as to what are the top 3 priorities for you, right? And this is a very data-led conversation. I mean, most people would say that it's savings, right? I think what we are saying is you talk about consumer experience, you talk about AI, you talk about tech, and you merge all of this. There is a lot that can be done with the data that's currently available with most TMCs, but are we really consuming it to the extent that delivers absolute high value for the travel program? The answer is no.
I would say, Sunny, is that data which is collected, is you all give it to the demand people to utilize it properly?
No, I would say we still can consume that data in a lot more efficient manner and put long-term goals and not look at immediate outcomes of, okay, we want this in 60 days or 90 days. Let's put plans in place that are like yearly plans, and then you're able to do it nicely, well, and keeping in mind every impact, or let's say everything that also impacts the customer experience.
So let me come to Gaurav. Gaurav, same question. Data, AI, and transparency, and accountability of data.
Sure. Dr. Pai, I think I have my colleagues down there, Ajay, Devendra. I think one thing which we have been learning quite often is on the data jungle. there is a whole lot of data in the
In the
system,
system.
and you actually are not aware what you do with this data, because it's very fragmented. There is no correlation, and very importantly, we are only talking about data of air. What happens to the hotel spends? Most important, what happens to the ground transportation? I think these segments are still not being looked at, and
So there are few more like GST, VAT claim, and all that
exactly,
things. Yeah.
exactly. So unless we have the entire ecosystem where we are able to look at the entire data, and then we look at the story.
There's a vast difference.
I think there is a
So
vast.
we are yet far away from the reality.
We are not even close.
Okay.
Is my personal thought. Unless I can be proven wrong, and I
So
can
who
look at
should
the
own
data.
this data?
So I'd like to add on to
Yeah,
Gaurav's
please,
point
Shine.
that I absolutely agree with him. Everyone loves to talk about this, that we've got this huge database, but I don't think it's evaluated correctly, first of all. We don't have the entire thing, it just comes to us in bits and pieces. So first of all, everything needs to be put together and come
So
to us.
what do you feel? Whose accountability is for the data for you to take a decision?
I think it will be we can't put the ball in anybody's court. I think it needs to be jointly worked out.
Both ways. Yeah.
Both ways, not only with the TMCs, but we have large ground transportations service providers, we have the hotels, and I think everybody should jointly come and try to produce this data. How soon? I would not have the answer right now, but I think we have to take those baby
But-
steps.
And one more
But
thing I'd like
Shine,
to...
just to tell you on this same topic, are you all spending or are you all having some plans to evaluate the data so that it is helpful for you from the negotiation part?
Yes,
from
we
the
definitely
decision
have
part?
plans for that, but as I said, the main reason we get stuck is because not having all that data together. The biggest issue is that it comes to us from so many different places, then to kind of compile it, that's where the gist is lost.
So Bhavin, what do you feel? Who should own this data?
So to be very honest, Sanjay, data is there for a dynamic decision support system. Now, if we look at a decade back, there was a platform which gives you data, somebody analyzes the data, and then somebody takes a decision out of it. Where we are heading towards now is, are we dynamically taking decisions out of data? For example, right, almost 45% of our business comes from accommodation or non-air. Now, every year, if you look at October, November, December, wedding season kicks in, festive season kicks in, and everything, all hotels are skyrocketing. Now, we are sitting on a 20-year-old data. Now, what we are building and where we are looking at a data is, can we have a dynamically defined policy which is more of a seasonal, which enables employee experience? So, to me, Sanjay, data belongs to platform, and we are moving away from sharing a data to we are moving away from a meaningful outcome with a platform takes, which enables the employee experience at the end of the day.
So the taxes component is different from the air component to hotel component from the GST perspective. And all corporates would like the GST which is spent on a business travel to come back. So how far you all help for them to claim the GST back?
In our case, we help them 100% of whatever booking happens. The idea is we have all transaction data.
So,
we have all
Gaurav,
supply
you
data,
get
billing data.
100%? You're getting your GST 100%?
Honestly, no. I don't think so. We are getting
Sunny, what do you say from the air component?
So A component is of course very close to 100, right? It's not reached 100, but on the hotel side, it totally depends in terms of the processes and the governance that's been put in place. But to Gaurav's point, and of course, I mean, what Bhavin said is that the capability exists to deliver 100%. The fact is, yes, we also have a capability to deliver 100%, or maybe close to 100%. But today, the best managed programs, and I mean, I may be 5-10% off here and there, their input credit is not more than 65-70%.
So for you, Sunny, it's very easy because GST is used from the origin of the city. For Bhavin, it's a little tougher because the GST is picked up from the city of usage. So you are at what percentage, Bhavin?
So on flight, entire industry is 100%. On hotel, if I ask us, we are at 99% on hotel. And there is a massive
If the
effort.
billing is done from your side, right?
No, if the billing is done from supplier side.
Supplier side.
So that's how we have now contracted an entire supply ecosystem. If you go back to my original conversation, right? If we have to reach a $20 billion, we are investing massively in category 3 and 4 city in building this supply ecosystem. So everything starts with building an infra, and you have to roll out a program. So on field, we have 800 plus people in length and breadth of the country who are managing a relationship with all this supplier ecosystem in category 3, 4. So we are starting a program for there, and reaching that incremental 1% is still a task.
So Gaurav, what I'm saying is, what you do for getting the 100% GST from hotels which are used for tier 2 and tier 3?
So, I'm honestly surprised what Bhavin just mentioned, because forget about tier 2 and tier 3. I think we face a challenge in getting the invoices from the hotels in tier 1 cities and the major cities. So I think, getting GST invoices
It's a nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dream come true.
So we have not even moved to the second stage of GST billing, whether the billing is in place correctly or not. We are talking about the collecting of the GST back, which we have already forwarded it to those people. Shine, you have anything to say on this?
It's the same thing. What Gaurav is saying is absolutely correct. We struggle with the basics first.
Okay.
So
in this area, for his trade, that supplying of hotel rooms or keys, unless you take it from him and he bills it to you, billing on individual across the hotels is a nightmare, right? That's right. So there is a gap again in this, which AI or any other things should work out and help. I think so.
Yes.
So if we are with 5 minutes, I think so. So it's a closing rapid fire, whatever you say. One sentence, one decision. What is the one hard decision? This for everyone. Huh? India's corporate travel ecosystem must take in the next 3 years, or risk missing the 20 billion opportunity. Of course, it's more for the supplier than for the corporate, but still.
Okay, so for me, one thing is an integrated system, right? A system that carries literally everything: policy, exceptions, content, expense, everything. I mean, one system. You may have integrated 3 or 4 systems to bring everything on a single platform, but that's very important. We can't have fragmented, content being fragmented, policies sitting somewhere else. That is where the biggest problem lies today. I mean, today, well-managed programs are at 90% plus self-adoption, self-book adoption, right? I mean, if you look at the productivity for those businesses, I mean, gone are the days when you used to say one consultant can do 5 or 6 crores per annum. I mean, those numbers are staggering. I think it's very important for us to move in that direction and say, and the Western world has. I mean, they've been doing it for the last many, many years. They do not complicate a travel program. There is a single source of truth. There is a single platform that is aiding everything, right from the time of taking an approval to putting an expense out.
But Sunny, don't you feel that different geography, it becomes difficult to use the same tool everywhere?
No, sir. No? India is way ahead when it comes to adoption of technology. I'm telling you, I mean, we may have started late, but what we're doing right now is absolutely insane. Like I said, there are many, many travel programs where the adoption rates are 80% plus, 90% plus, where there is high intent to book international. There are complications, visas and whatnot, but there are organizations who are saying, let's do point-to-point, short-haul, international. Very strong intent. If we were to collectively take a decision that this is the best way forward, I think our travel programs will be far better than the Western world's.
So for your one sentence, one decision.
Integrated platform, single platform.
Okay, got it.
I'd like to add a bit to what Sunny said. I think because the major difference between the West and us is the mindset.
Okay.
That's what needs to change, because
so what is the mindset needs to
certain
change?
things we are very traditional in our old way of how we are going. The agency, if a corporate is traveling, the agency is going to be there, the implant is going to do the stuff for you. The Western world doesn't work like that. They don't have the manpower. They don't have a person sitting in their office.
So you mean to say customization is the issue?
It's not customization. It's everything.
Mindset.
Mindset.
Okay.
Just having everything ready-made for them through an agency. So if we, yes, the integrated system, but also change the way of how we
So
expect
Sunny
services
said
to come.
integrated. You said mindset.
Yeah.
Gaurav?
So I agree with both of them, integrated mindset. I think from transaction, I think we have to move to more transformational. So I think that's the ask which most of the corporates would love to have, and that's the way forward, I feel so.
But Gaurav, how difficult for you looking at Reliance volumes and to have a control on all the parameters? Means what do you plan for next 3 years, which will give you some ease of control?
I think have more and more automation is what we look at and strongly believe in. We try and push our partners to see how best they can get synchronized with our systems and try and engage them in more automation is what I feel. Because once they are synchronized through our systems, we are able to achieve the data, and then, as rightly said, we can.
So integrated mindset, automation. Bhavin, what do you want to say?
Sanjay, to us, we are there in all the three areas, right? That's of course a hygiene. And one area which we definitely see is strengthening a supply ecosystem. We are a partner sitting over here. And two areas which we personally feel where we really need a massive investment over next 3 years is building supply, and the international flight, and category 4. And we see it's happening because we have Indian airlines becoming aspirational on the global space.
Okay.
If we need to reach to that space, global supply ecosystem should strengthen, and category 3, category 4 infra should even further strengthen on the supply side. So that's for us.
Dr. Pai, I also would like to add to what Sunny just mentioned, and this is the experience I think most of us saw. He spoke about digital and he said that we are far, far way ahead of it, and I completely agree with it. We were traveling recently, and we were surprised to know that everywhere across the counter we had to pay through either cash or a digital card. And in India, you walk to a kirana store or maybe a vegetable vendor, and even the auto walas, you can pay the UPI and you can move on. So that kind of digital India we are looking at, and I think all of us should be proud of it.
So I think more or less we had a very vibrant panel. Anyone from the crowd, if you want to ask something to either any one of us, here, just give him a mic.
Sure. Hi, good morning to everyone, the audience. So my question to the team is, so we are saying like a integrated system is needed where a customer can...
Can you introduce yourself from where you are?
Yeah, my name is Santosh. I am from Pondicherry. So my company name is Voyage to India.
Okay.
Actually, I am very new to this travel business. I started as an inspiration last year. Only while I was traveling in a blah blah car, I had a conversation with that driver. Then with my experience, I started this. So my question to the team is, now all the MNCs in India, we all are working with the AI integrated system. So can anyone tell how far we are? Like in 1 or couple of years, are we going to achieve this? Or this going to take more than 5 years or something like that?
So Gaurav will answer your question, I think. So yes.
But
I'll tell you, what is good to him is not good to me. Okay.
Okay.
Based on your scope and geography of working, I think so you have to choose the right tool.
Yes.
Because to kill a fly, you don't require a machine gun. You
Yes.
require the mat. So you have to choose what is best for you. Any which ways, Gaurav will answer.
Yes, sir. Namaskara, first of all.
Thank you, sir.
I think we had spoken earlier also that I haven't seen any technology which is up there to manage the travel integrities. But I hope that very soon that you will be able to see some companies, some TMCs working quite rapidly to get this on floor. Yeah, but we are still not there.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else? Yeah, here.
Hi, my name is Amit. I'm the Managing Director of First Cars Private Limited, corporate mobility solutions provider. My question, the thought is, we spoke about integrated technology and mindset. My question to the panel is, are we satisfied with how far we have reached in terms of harnessing technology? Is it a mindset issue that, we are not able to achieve it 100%? Is it a mindset issue from the buyer side? Or is it a mindset issue from the supplier side? Or is it lack of competence or whatever? What is the reason? What is stopping us from, enhancing the use of technology across the entire corporate travel ecosystem?
I'll just prepare a context for it. As someone, Shine is going to take it. I'm saying we are yet far in reading a person's mind. Your mobility works on your driver. Till we not achieve those, once the AI reads what the driver is supposed to behave or what he is going to do, the mobility will always be a challenge from the demand side. Okay? That's one.
So I'm going to reply to you in context of, because you say, you're from the transport side, yeah. I think that's one of the industry in India which is the most backward right now. Yes, some companies have gone full, forward with everything automated, GPS and all that. But then there are some who are at the basic. It's to the extent of just send us an email or an SMS and we will do the bookings for you. So as the transport industry needs to really move fast to reach to a certain level where technology is concerned.
But don't you feel, Shine, there is a disconnect here. One services out of the overall travel services, they don't fit into, because they don't gather any data for the air travel component from where he's starting, where it's required and all that things. So there is an integration gap. That's right?
Yes, absolutely. And for which they need to catch up with that on technology, which some of them are lagging.
I agree to Shine here because, what happens is, it happens only in Tier 1, Tier 2 cities. What happens to Tier 3? I think vendor partners are not able to execute these bookings through the online model. And once they are not, I think you miss the entire channel. Yeah.
So one more gap which I found is, the fleet is not owned fully by whoever the supplier is. So
you have no control,
over
what.
So again, he puts his neck with someone else, and that's where the mess gets created. Okay. Ajay.
So let me be the advocate for Amit here, who just mentioned.
Acha, Amit. Okay.
Yeah. See, while we can say that we are backward in terms of the land transport, while we can say that the technology integration is not happening, there are so many such things we say, right? But I think where we need to understand also from the land transport point of view is that the drivers they hire are not educated as good as what we are, right? They do not take it as a priority for them.
Correct.
Their priorities are different in life.
Correct.
So I went to Jamshedpur, called for a car. The guy came 30 minutes late. Why? He's saying, sir, pehle main khana khaunga, baad mein aunga. So it's very simple, right? So it's not his fault. Not at all. The entire ecosystem
Has to change.
And like we all just mentioned so many things about this thing. So Sunny mentioned integration, mindset, and technology, etc. I think integration is required for the entire ecosystem.
That's right.
So it's not only about a particular business's travel function has to be integrated, but the integration is required for all of us who are here. And I think that's the reason we are here. That fragmentation of supplier and buyer has to kind of reduce, if not completely finish.
So I'm getting some signals from there. Okay. So whoever has the question can take offline with each one of them.
You have a full house, so we can still go live.
So I think more or less the audience must have enjoy the conversation. I want to thank Sunny, Shine, Gaurav, and Bhavin for a very lovely participation. And I hope this travel industry gets stitched. Like Ajay said, there should not be variance between a demand and supply. All have to be collaborative efforts. And like Amit, you are in a wrong trade where you don't have a control over the drivers. Somewhere we'll have some solution to it. So let's hope for the best. And let me tell you, digital platforms for India, it's always edge over others. You can see the transformation happening everywhere on defense, everywhere. So I think travel will also come up very heavily. So all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.